Welcome back. It's priest time. We are doing Voyage into the Sunken City, Lightforge podcast, Grinning Goat, card review arena. I'm Adwikta.
This is Merps. Let's talk about a very okay, tame in comparison, colossal unit. Still the best card for Priest. This is Blackwater Behemoth. Alright, so Blackwater Behemoth is an 8 mana, 8/10 beast with lifesteal and colossal +1. So the other body is a 1/4 beast. And at the end of your turn, force a random enemy minion to attack the Blackwater Behemoth. So you get a lot of stats. You get more than you should, and you get immediate heal, which is nice. But once again, just very tame. I don't know. This isn't immune. You can kill it.
Why isn't it immune? Everything's immune.
Yeah, the lore doesn't do a broken other thing. It's just making things attack that. So it's just an A. It does a lot, right? It extends the game significantly. It is a huge thing that essentially has a pseudo rush to it.
Yeah.
But wow, it doesn't win the game on the spot 99% of the time. So it's just a very good A tier minion.
Yep. Still the best card of this set in Priest, but yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about it. It's 8 damage, which is 8 healing, so if you get to turn 8 as Priest and you can play this card out, you're going to heal up 8 immediately, and then if they try to kill this, which they could, they're going to heal you up to full. And if they don't try to kill it, and they can't kill you, you know how all the other ones we say, hey, if you don't die the next turn, you're probably not going to win this if they drop up a Colossal on you? Well, for this one, you're not going to win the next turn because they just healed 8 health. But if you, you can kill it a lot easier and heal it up. So it's more of it's a tool. Right? It's an overpowered tool, but it's trying to make you engage with the priest and heal it back up and engage with a mountain of stats rather than just going face. So it does its job. Next up, we're going to go with a couple B pluses. There's no A's in priest because that was the A. Instead, we have our first card, Whisper of the Deep. 1 mana rare shadow spell. Silence a friendly minion. Then deal damage equal to its attack, randomly split among all enemy minions. So we know how effective randomly splitting damage on enemy minions is from the Warlock card that does it for 3 mana repeatedly. This is only 1 mana, but you only get so much damage. What attack are you having on the board with this? You have to set it up. If they have too much health, this isn't going to do enough. You can't cast it repeatedly to finish off the job. So you better have a minion that's big, and you better have 1 extra mana, and you do it on the same turn. And that minion better not be subject to silence because you have to silence it. So if you put out a minion that you don't want to silence, you can't use this on that minion. It's got a little bit of awkwardness to it, but the fundamental part of it, which is dealing a whole bunch of random damage to enemy minions, is super good. That's why it's a B+.
It doesn't take much for you to be happy for 1 mana.
Yeah.
You put this on a 4 attack minion, you're already pretty happy, right? You're getting 4 damage split among enemy minions. So, there's no chance of it going face. You probably want to control the board anyways. That's incredible, right? That's a really, really good beefed up arcane missiles. So, it doesn't take much for you to just be very happy with this card.
Yep. So that's B+. Another B+ is Asharon Ritual. Asharon Ritual is a 4 mana card. Silence a minion and summon a copy of it. Put a Sunken Ritual on the bottom of your deck. Sunken Ritual is a 4-mana card that says silence a minion and summon 2 copies of it. So this is like a 4-mana Faceless with a silence attached to it. And then it puts a double Faceless on the bottom of your deck, which is potentially game-winning if you can get it on the right thing.
Yep. I think that's good.
Yep, so B+. Like, Faceless we don't rate high at all. Faceless is not the best thing, especially in this meta. But at 4 mana, it does quite a lot. All right, next up is Whirlpool. Whirlpool is a B. It is not a B+, it is not an A. People may look at this and think it's ridiculous, but it's actually not that ridiculous. It is 9 mana, destroy all minions and all copies of them. And it is a nature spell. So just kill everything for 9 mana. We've seen this kind of stuff before, but this one doesn't silence, and it is double-sided. And these days, just kind of been power creeped.
Yeah, it's fine. I think where we have it is totally fair. It's a B. So I think some people might think it's like even worse, but these effects are still really good.
Destroys everything.
It destroys everything. In terms of like copies of stuff, I don't really think it matters so much. Like we can just kind of look at it as a twisting nether, and that's fine. I think that's like absolutely fine. This is kind of the way that priests want to play anyway, so something like a Whirlpool really does help the priest class.
Yep. All right. C+ is next. It is a Queen's Guard. A Queen's Guard is a 2-mana 2/3 Naga, so on curve 2-drop. Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each spell you've cast this turn, including the coin. So you can coin out your spider tanks with this.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's not doing much. It just gets a +1/+1 later on, and you get a 2-mana 3/4, which is not particularly interesting.
Remember, it's a C+. Yeah, it's okay. Like you're just getting a little bit of a bonus. Now, if you are able to coin it out, that's huge.
Yep.
Like a 2-mana 3/4 on turn 1 is absolutely gigantic. You just dominate everything, and you can maybe even snowball off of it, but that's really the only time that it shines.
Yep. All right, now we're into the C zone, the C's. The first one for C is a Serpent Wig. Serpent Wig is an epic spell. Remember, C is a little bit better than a Yeti. And this is give a minion 1 mana spell, give a minion +1/+1. If you played a Naga while holding this, add a Serpent Wig to your hand. So it's a tiny buff, but if you played a Naga before, you get it back.
I don't know. That's basically it. I think the buffs are alright. Did you run the numbers on sort of like how many Nagas you get to play?
Yeah, you don't have that many Nagas, but you'll have a few Nagas in your deck.
Alright. I just trusted you on this one.
It's just mostly a buff.
Yeah. So I see like chats like, oh, this is it's not terrible. I don't know. Like
buffs are never terrible. Like a 2-mana +2/+2 buff is quite good.
All right. Next
is Switcheroo. Switcheroo is another C tier card, 3 mana, draw 2 minions, swap their stats. So when you swap their stats, one is going to be a low mana card for a lot of stats, one's going to be a high mana card for a small amount of stats. So you're basically getting a little bit of a tempo bonus. The downside is that you're drawing 2 minions, and you're not going to draw spells.
Yeah. So the thing with a card like this is it's actually pretty good. Like you're usually able to play the better minion, as in the one that got the advantageous swap first. So you actually like these sort of effects because you can usually cheat something out pretty quickly. But the problem is always just you can't draw any spells, and the zero chance to draw spells really does suck.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you get a 2-drop and you get a 6-drop, right? In your 2 minions, and then you play a 2-mana 6-drop.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do with it. Alright, so we're past the C's, now we're at D+. First D+ is Illuminate. Illuminate is a 0-mana card. It says Dredge. If it's a spell, reduce its cost by 3. So, it is a 0-mana card, but remember, dredging doesn't draw you the card. So you are just losing a card from this. Even if you dredge up a spell, you are still losing a card. So you'll get a little bit of a tempo boost from casting the spell later on. But this is purely, it's tracking without drawing the card. So what you're trying to do is actually dredge up something, but the bonus happens when it's a spell, and nobody puts spells on the bottom of your deck. So stuff that you get payoffs for dredging are not going to get this payoff.
Yep. All right. What's next?
It's a rare dredge card that is not good. It's just a low yeti. Next is Priestess of Voyage. It is another 0-mana priest card. This one's a legendary. It is a 1/1 Naga. 0 mana, battle cry, refresh an empty mana crystal for each spell you've cast this turn. That includes coin, and more importantly, a wisp is not super terrible. So you get a little bit of a benefit on top of a wisp. The D+, not a good card, but it's there.
I mean, look, a wisp is not great. The Naga tag helps it a decent amount. The mana refresh helps it some. You can turn this sometimes into an Innervate plus, which is fine, which is good. So I think D+ is fair for something like this.
And finally, the last card is a D. It is a Handmaiden. It is a 3-mana, 3/2 Naga. Battle Cry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, draw 3 cards. So you gotta have the spells, and you gotta hold it, and then at the very end, you get to draw 3 cards. But it is an unplayable card for the vast majority of the game.
Why isn't this a 3/3? I don't get it.
No idea. Because you're supposed to want to encourage choice. You're supposed to want to be able to play this card or have to hold it, right? That's what makes it interesting. But you're never going to play it. You're always going to hold it. And you're just going to hope that you draw and play 3 spells while this is in your hand.
Yeah. That's fine. So the thing I do know for Priest, it is pretty easy to play spells. So I can see for yeah, because they don't care about arena. For constructive purposes, this is definitely something that they want to limit. But for constructive purposes, I don't think the stats matter then.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
all. So I don't really understand. It's if the effect is that powerful, then the stats almost don't matter. Okay.
Just in case you were wondering, we don't think this is an insane card in Arena. We think it's a bad card in Arena because I think you're gonna have trouble playing 3 spells while this card is in your hand.
All right, that's Priest. It's pretty meh.
Yeah.
From its best card, which is the Behemoth, which what do I think is better, the Druid Colossal Minion or the Priest one? Probably the Priest one by a little bit. I don't know. It's tough. The Druid one comes out earlier. Now, of course, we're just arguing it's A tier Colossal Minion versus other A tier Colossal Minion. But yeah, those are immediately the ones that stand out as like, oh, this is just not super great here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's funny looking at those colossal minions versus the truly great ones like Leviathan or Hydrolodon.
Yep. I just don't like what the good cards are. Like Whispers of the Deep, that's so not priest. Dealing random damage on the board. Like what? Why?
That's more in line of like a rogue or demon hunter, like a tempo cheat, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a tempo cheat.
And it's like pinging. That's like what priest should like be very bad at doing, and this is very
Right.
good at it.
Their colossal minion at least is very much so on brand, right?
Yes.
Asharon Ritual is very much so on brand. Switcheroo is on brand as well, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
very priest. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of this
Whirlpool.
weird stuff. But yes, some cards are not very on brand, and it gives them like good tempo cheat removal, which I don't love. Because if
Yeah.
you look at something like Whirlpool, that is very on brand. It's like super expensive, remove everything kind of things, but you don't expect them to play like a 7 mana card and for 1 more mana just clear your entire board potentially, because it's like they play a 7 mana, I don't know, 7/7, and then they clear your board with the whispers.
Yeah. Light Bomb is coming back for Priest too, but it's an epic, but it'll be one more um, giant removal that Priests haven't had. But overall, I just like Priest is still not going to work. It's not working in this meta unless they tune it, which they probably won't tune because they don't have the tools for it. Like, there's nothing here that's going to get Priest to the point in which they're going to be super good or anything. Like, I still don't see what Priests are supposed to do in the arena right now. And I get that's fine. Priest is one of my least favorite classes in the arena. I'm okay seeing them at the bottom, but they're going to stay at the bottom.
All right, that's it.
All
Until
right.
the next section.
I'm going to give a shout out to our Patreons at patreon.com/grinning goat. Thank you so much for your support. Our top Patreons, RV Night Train, Eric L, Yin, REG, Dan F, and Karova. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. And if you're watching this on YouTube or you just listen to our podcast, please consider signing up for our patron. Every little bit helps. And and we'll see you after this for what's next? Rogue?
Yeah.
Rogue. All right. See you guys.
Bye.